I switched from a Kindle to an iPad mini. Here's why I did it and why you should too. Hi, my name is Dakota, otherwise known as Breeb's Book Bag on all platforms, and I recently upgraded my Kindle to an iPad mini. There are a lot of reasons why I did this. Obviously, I am not the biggest supporter of Amazon, especially with their large donation recently to a certain individual's campaign. But we also have seen a lot of issues with Amazon as far as removing books, locking people out of their accounts, not actually paying authors properly. So in order to pull away from Kindle, except for indie authors, I'm still supporting, I'm still a member of Kindle Unlimited. I've subscribed to them and I am still supporting indie authors. But aside from that, I'm pulling away from Amazon more as much as possible. Ideally, I'd like to get to 0% long term, but as long as there's indie authors on the platform, I do want to support them. So I'd love it if you told me other places that are not Amazon that I can support indie authors aside from just their individual websites. But in the meantime, iPad mini. I am a big supporter of Apple because of their end-to-end encryption and the amount that they have done to actually protect user data. I think out of most technologies on the market, Apple is doing an incredible job of that, and I do want to support that. But in addition to that, you get so much more spending a little bit extra on an iPad mini, especially the trade-in value. I actually traded in a couple of other devices to get this iPad mini at basically no cost to myself, but a little bit extra and you can use this for so many other things. Obviously, I can turn on reading mode as a focus mode on this if I just want to use it as a kind of e-reader Kindle device. You can also turn this to black and white if you want that experience. But you can have your Kindle app on here, you can have your Apple Books on here, you can have a plethora of other apps on here, so I can update my Fable on here, I can write my reviews on here, I can upload YouTube videos on here. There's so many things that I can do in this one device that is virtually only slightly bigger than a Kindle. I think there's maybe like, I think it's an inch bigger. So it's really not that big. It still fits in the Kindle sleeve that I had previously. I had like a little Kindle padded sleeve from Quirky Cup Collection, and this fits in there great. So I absolutely love it. Still put the pop socket on it, still fits. Have my little charm on here, obviously, that I made. So all of that is the same. But let me show you everything else you can do. I can change the screensaver to be whatever I want it to be. I can still do focus mode. And then because Apple iOS 18.1 and 18.2, I am actually able to create a bookshelf on here. So I got this one off Pinterest. I have one on my phone as well, which I'm filming on my phone. Go Apple for this quality that I got off of Etsy. I did that wallpaper for that. I'll put in a screenshot right here. But I got a wallpaper off of Pinterest, and then I was able to arrange my apps with personalized shortcut photos that I also just downloaded from Pinterest, put on there, and then I basically got to decorate my little bookshelf with my apps. As you see, this is mainly for reading, so I don't have that many. You're gonna see like book review sites, you're gonna see my Libby app, this is my shortcuts ad, Widgetsmith for like the cute little thing. Now let me show you how Kindle looks on an iPad. So here you have it, the Wave. It actually, if you press on it, turns the page for you. But let me tell you about iBooks, because iBooks surprised me significantly. I actually prefer iBooks to Kindle now, because with iBooks will tell you your stats. So previous reads, how much time of your reading goal that day that you have left. It will tell you your streaks for the week of your reading. It'll tell you, you can turn on daily coaches of how to read more, so that'll remind you to read. Apple also has a specific to reading focus mode. Will mute apps you can change. So if you want to use this iPad for work and then you want to have a reading mode, you can just, well, actually I need to open it first, but you can press on it and change it to a new one. So you can have a specified reading mode so that anytime you go into reading focus mode, you go onto the screen and then it is only the things that you have on this, so you can be distraction free. So this is extremely diverse and multi-purpose for a device that is completely color. And you might say, okay, but it's not e-ink. The reason I want e-ink is because it's going to help my eyesight. That was actually debunked, because that was my big thing before I switched to an iPad, where my husband is a tech junkie and he was like, get an iPad, get an iPad. I'm like, yes, but e-ink. And then I figured that apparently the blue light has kind of been debunked. Now, it can still dry out your eyes. You can get a cheap pair of blue light glasses at the dollar store nowadays. I have blue light protection in my actual frames since I am an eyeglass wearer, and that has helped significantly. But when I wear contacts, I do have blue light glasses just to protect that, because when I had an office job that was all day long in front of a computer screen, I did notice, especially with contacts, my eyes would dry out a little bit. With this, I have not noticed that, especially because I have dimmed this and I can change the coloring. So on Kindle, if you're on a computer and you have the Kindle app on there, you can actually change the color to be an off-white, a blue, a like the black and white, whatever you want it to be, dark mode. You can do that on here. You can do dark mode for your iBooks. You can do dark mode for the entire thing. So don't think that the bright light color is going to be too much, because you can actually change that. But the beautiful thing about it is that what actually hurts your eyes is darkness. Not having enough light to be able to actually take in the page. So if you're reading a physical book and you don't have like a good lamp, over time, that is actually going to deteriorate your eyesight more than just blue light. The more you know. Had no idea about that, because that was the one thing that was really holding me back from just doing an iPad and being done with it. I have a friend who reads on her iPad all the time, and I'm like, you're crazy. And then I find out, oh no, this is actually game changing. Now, let me tell you something else about iBooks that is totally different from Kindle that I love. If it is an EPUB format or a PDF format, you can read it on iBooks. So if you have any downloaded file that is a PDF or an EPUB format, you can literally share it to your iBooks. Let me show you, okay? So I took all of the Kindle books that I owned and I transported them into Calibre, and then I changed them into a EPUB file, and then I downloaded them onto this. So if I take a file from my iPad, I can literally just share it to iBooks. And as soon as I share it to iBooks, that's it. It's in there, done. And then from iBooks, create collections out of anything. So I can organize them by genre, I can organize them by author. Actually, it already organizes them by author. If you want to do that, you can just automatically do it by author. In Calibre, you can choose to insert information as far as like, is it book 1, is it book 2, is it book 3 of like a specific series. So you can organize them by series. But yeah, you can literally do anything you want with iBooks, which is so much better. So big question, if I want to buy books and I don't want to go through Apple, or Apple doesn't have it, and I don't want to go through Amazon, where do I buy the book? ebooks.com is where you can buy an ebook directly from the publisher. No middleman. It's listed there by the publisher. You can purchase that book. A lot of publishers, believe it or not, and this is something that is interesting about Amazon, because Amazon, if you download that book, it's going to be in, I believe, AWZ, AZW or something format. And that format has DMR, which is basically the licensing that allows Apple to lease you the book instead of actually purchasing it. So at any point, if Amazon loses the rights to that book, they can snatch it from you. I know that we had that issue with 1984. They lost the licensing for 1984, and it was removed from people's devices because of that licensing. If you buy an ebook through ebooks.com, a lot of publishers don't actually include the licensing. So Tor, for example, I believe a lot of their books, like all the Brandon Sanderson books, if you scroll down to the bottom on ebooks, it will tell you there is no DMR. The publisher has requested that this book specifically does not include DMR. That is what allows you to go into an app like Calibre on your computer and then switch the format over from whatever format it is that you originally had to an EPUB, PDF, whatever, so you can read it on any of your devices. That is ownership. That is the ability to actually buy the ebook in an e-format rather than the physical book, change it as many times as you need to, however you want to, into any format to be able to read it on your device. You've purchased the book. Okay, great. Well, your iPhone broke. You have a different phone now. You have a different device now. You need to just change the format so that you can continue to read that book and enjoy it for years. And so it's not snatched back. You can do that because there is no licensing. Now, some publishers still have licensing on there, but the majority of the ones that I've come across do not, which that is ownership, to be able to have the freedom to actually use the book how you want to in that e-format. Additionally, when you're on ebooks.com, you can choose the format that it goes into. I think there's only a couple different formats on that. So if you have some strange device that is not covered under that, you would still have to like manipulate that format and change it over, which Calibri, which is actually really simple. There's a million videos on YouTube, etc., on how to do that. Just using Calibri and going in, downloading the file. Literally, there's a drop-down menu of what format you want to change it to. Change it to that format, save it to your device. Done. So easy. It took me maybe a couple hours to figure out initially, and then after that, like 5 minutes anytime I need to switch over. So 100% recommend checking out ebooks.com regardless of what device you use, because you can use this if you already have a Kobo Libre. You can use this if you already have like a Nook or something else. Your Kindle, if you want to just keep your Kindle and move away from purchasing off Amazon, you can literally go ebooks.com. You can either download it in the correct file type for your Kindle, or you can just use Libre and change it over. But I do know that ebooks.com does have EPUB as the format where you can just initially download it and then download it onto your iPad. So I'm not going to go back to Kindle. I'm obsessed with this thing. It's amazing. Like the color clarity, I'm not going to have an issue with a light bar at the bottom ever because it's an iPad. I'm not going to have an issue with downloading speed or page turning speed or anything else that has been a problem. There's no glitching in an iPad. This processor is like a computer. This is a processor of a computer. This is not going to glitch or have any issues. I have iCloud backup. So if something happens to the device, all of my books are saved in iCloud. Or, hey, I don't have my iPad with me, but guess what? I have my cell phone with me, and I really want to finish this chapter because I forgot to bring this. Not that we ever forget to bring this, but sometimes it does not fit in that purse. I have it on my iPhone. Easy peasy. I was shocked. I was not expecting to love this so much, but yeah, that is the story of how I ended up switching over. Also, shout out to PopSocket for listening to its demographic, because we had the PopSockets to like help us and everything with Kindle and stuff, but like all of a sudden they came out with these cute ones like Do Not Disturb. That was definitely for the Kindle girlies. You cannot tell me that was not for the bookworms. And like all of the other cute ones. And that's been, I feel like within the last 10 months that they've really dropped a huge collection after collection after collection. So good job to us for making what we want known, and for the industry to actually listen and be like, hey, you want the cute pop sockets? Here you go. You want the cute stickers? Here you go. Also, I decorated. I'm obsessed with this. Look how, oh gosh, there's the glare. Look at how cute that is. It's literally just a couple of stickers. And then I printed these out from like Pinterest pictures. I literally just printed these out, cut them out, and put them in there. And I just used a double-sided tape to tape it to the iPad, and then a clear case. So yeah, you can get so creative. And yeah, it's hard because I was always a physical book reader, as you can tell from my shelves. And this is the first time that I feel like I don't want to put this down. I'm kind of obsessed. I want to carry this with me everywhere. I ended up, this is how bad it is. I ended up checking out a book that I own from the library on Libby so that I could read it on here instead of physically. It's changed me. Anyway, Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please drop down a little dragon emoji in the comments, and I will see y'all in my next video. But thank you for watching my first video. Mwah.